Since the dawn of mankind, we have acknowledged differences between men and women. This is nothing new. We have always done this. And because of that, we have always just accepted the fact that men are going to be attracted toward different career paths than women. Men are going to go into the engineering fields. Men are going to go into the computer science fields. Men are going to go into the tech industry, and women are going to be nurses. Women are going to be teachers. Women are going to be event planners. Like, that's just how it is because they're interested in these things. Women prefer in general more social career paths. But recently we've had this push from the feminists and the left because they have nothing else to fight for, because we've already achieved equality, right? But we've had this push from feminists to say that to look at these careers like engineering, for example, and they'll say, well, men are overrepresented in the engineering field. Therefore, men are oppressive. It's toxic masculinity. Women need to be given more opportunities because it's not fair for them. They ignore the fact that women just may not be happy in those career paths. Maybe they prefer other career paths. They just act like they're only going to those other career paths because they don't want to do, they can't get into the engineering facilities. There's not enough opportunities for women because men are just so oppressive, right? Which is funny because they will, and I'll get into the Google thing here in a second, but they will look at the male-dominated fields and they'll say, men are dominating these fields because they're oppressive and women can't get in. But they refuse to turn it around, right? Because if men are dominating in certain fields, then women must be dominating in other fields, right? Men can't be dominating in everything. So they refuse to turn around and say, hey, you know what? There are not enough male event planners. Maybe men aren't having the proper opportunities to become event planners, right? They completely ignore that. They just look at the fields that men are dominating. And they refuse to turn around and say, hey, look, there are actually more females that do this than men. So there was a town hall a couple of months ago where the Google and YouTube, the CEOs of both companies, Google and YouTube, sat down. And it was called, quote, Revolution, Google and YouTube Changing the World. And the CEO of Google was asked why there are not more females in the tech industry. And her answer was interesting because she admitted that women just aren't interested in these things. Let me read it here. Quote, I think the problem is that computer science as a whole and tech as a whole has a reputation of being a very geeky male industry. And if you look, not within the industry, but as an educational pipeline, you see that we only have 20% of women graduating with computer science degrees. And that's a problem in and of itself, because that means that we don't have enough people graduating who have those degrees. And you say, well, why is that? I think it has to do with these perceptions that the computer industry is geeky, not very interesting, not social industries, and it just couldn't be further from the truth. Now, she says, oh, it just couldn't be further from the truth because she immediately starts receiving backlash. Like other people on stage are saying, well, that's not the case. Men and women are all interested in the same thing in general, and therefore they all just want to go into these fields and whatever. So she immediately starts being back. But the thing that you should take out of that is she says, not social industries. Not social industries. Now, studies, by the way, I'm not pulling any of this out of my butt. These are facts, right? Studies have shown that women are attracted more towards social industries, social career paths. Receptionists, nurses, nannies, event planners, you name it, teachers, whatever. They're more attracted toward that. She is saying, in that quote, the women are not attracted in part because these are not social. Now, she's saying it's the perception, but it's true. It's absolutely true. Now, you cannot force diversity, all right? You can't force diversity. And that's what these feminists, that's what these liberals are trying to do. They want women to just go into these fields. They're assuming that it's just going to happen. We start having all these STEM program, let's teach women about the STEM programs and let's let them go and then maybe they'll be interested in it. No, they're not, right? They're not interested in it. Men and women, like if you take a man and a woman, these are studies have shown this too. If you take a boy and a girl in high school, they're both top level in mathematics, right? They score very high in their mathematics, and you move them into university. Guess which one of them is more likely to go into a mathematical related career? The man, right? Not the woman, because she's not interested in that sort of thing. This is on average. This doesn't mean that you can't take a woman off the street and she may be interested in engineering and then all of a sudden she's, pursuing a career in engineering. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about in general. Men and women are interested in different things. Oh, this is so, how could you say this, Don't? Well, because it's true. You can't force diversity. Now, the feminists always say, oh, I want women to have the freedom to choose to do what they want to do. Women should be able to do what they want to do, and men shouldn't be telling them what to do. Meanwhile, when women do that and they pursue careers that are more social, the feminists say, oh, you know what? No. Men are being oppressive. They're telling women what to do. It's like, pick your argument. You can't have it both ways, right? You can't have it both ways. If a woman wants to be a nurse, let her be a nurse. She doesn't have to be an engineer. She's not interested in that. I mean, it's just absolutely insane. What do you want? You know, you can't force diversity. Women won't be happy. It's the same argument with the wage gap. There is no wage gap based on gender alone. Among personality types, yes. Less agreeable people are more likely to make more money than more agreeable people. There are other factors involved as well. But based on gender alone, there is no wage gap. Men do tend to work more hours than women. Men do tend to take less time off over the course of a lifetime than women. Men are more likely to ask for raises than women. But on the basis of gender alone, men do not make more money than women. And this has been debunked so many times, but the feminists keep pushing this agenda. Same with the idea that men and women are interested in different things. This has been proven in study after study after study after study after study, but the feminists don't accept it. They don't want to accept it. And James Damore, who was fired from Google, and reported this story earlier in the year. James Damore wrote all of this in a diversity memo. He said men and women are different. He was fired from Google for saying all of this, and then they come out. YouTube CEO, by the way, owned by Google, she admits it. The Google CEO is a female, by the way. She admits that women are not interested in these sorts of career fields. She admits that only 20%, what was the exact part of the quote? You see that we only have 20% of women graduating with computer science degrees. She admits that. Why do you think that is? Do you think it's because men are oppressive? No. Women have so many opportunities to get these degrees. They just don't want to. Get that through your head. They don't want to. They don't care. They're not interested in that. And you can't force people to be interested in things. You can't do it. It'll make people unhappy if you start forcing them into certain career paths. Let society run its course. It's worked since the dawn of mankind. I don't know why you're trying to change it now. Actually, I do know it's because you have nothing else to fight for. And so you're just looking for things. You're looking for signs of inequality. No one likes inequality. But because men prefer engineering fields does not mean that there is inequality in engineering fields. It just means men prefer it. And they also said something about, oh, well, men look at other men and then hire them because they're men. No, that's not the case at all. 2 in 10 women that work, or 2 in 10 employees of Google are women. Right? This isn't, I mean, it's not, you don't just hire somebody. You hire somebody based, especially when it comes to the tech engineering fields. These are fact-based people. These are people that have run, their entire careers, their entire schooling is based on facts. They're not concerned about emotion. They're not concerned about, oh, I like men, so I'm going to hire a man. And I'm sure there is some of that. But for the most part, that is not the case. 99.99% of the time, people are hired because they are doing the best job. Or they will do the best job. They have the best resume, whatever. But anyway, let me know in the comments down below how you feel about this. Do you agree that men and women are different and that's why? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and share. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any more. I will catch up with you guys next time. Bye-bye.